The story of the second part continues immediately after the emotional chaos left behind by the first film, with Noah and Nick trying to move forward while carrying the weight of everything they have done wrong to each other. Their relationship is no longer fueled only by forbidden attraction and reckless passion, but by guilt, fear, jealousy, and the constant threat of losing each other forever. Noah is trying to rebuild her sense of self after realizing how deeply her choices have affected her future, her family, and her emotional stability. She enrolls more seriously in her studies, attempts to distance herself from the toxic environment that once made her feel alive, and convinces herself that loving Nick may cost her everything she has worked for. Nick, on the other hand, is consumed by regret. His past mistakes, his aggressive impulses, and his inability to protect Noah from his own world haunt him daily. He tries to change, to prove that he can be better, but his nature and the environment around him keep dragging him back into violence, jealousy, and impulsive decisions. Their separation is not clean or peaceful. It is filled with unspoken words, late-night thoughts, and moments where they almost give in to each other again. Noah meets new people who represent safety, stability, and a future without chaos, but none of them can replace the intense connection she shares with Nick. Every interaction feels hollow compared to the emotional storm he brings into her life. Meanwhile, Nick is surrounded by temptations and dangerous situations that constantly test his self-control. His involvement in illegal races and underground conflicts resurfaces, reminding him that escaping his past is not as easy as he hoped. When Noah sees him again after a long period apart, the tension between them is unbearable. Their eyes reveal everything they refuse to say, and it becomes clear that despite their efforts, neither of them has truly moved on. Their reunion is explosive, driven by unresolved anger and desire, leading to confrontations that expose deep insecurities on both sides. Noah accuses Nick of never truly changing, of dragging her into his darkness, while Nick accuses Noah of abandoning him when he needed her the most. These arguments are not just about the present, but about every wound they have caused each other since the beginning. As the story progresses, external threats begin to surround them again. Nick's enemies from his past reappear, forcing him to confront the consequences of the life he once embraced. Noah becomes indirectly involved, putting her in danger and reminding her why she tried to leave him behind. Fear begins to replace passion, and for the first time, Noah seriously considers that loving Nick might end with her losing her life, not just her peace. Despite this, moments of vulnerability between them reveal how deeply they still care. Nick opens up about his fear of becoming like the men he hates, of hurting Noah the way others hurt him, while Noah admits that part of her still believes he is capable of change. These confessions create brief moments of hope, but reality quickly interrupts them. Trust becomes the central issue of the film. Noah struggles to believe Nick's promises, while Nick struggles to accept that love alone cannot fix everything. The pressure from Noah's family increases, pushing her toward a safer path and warning her that Nick will only bring destruction. At the same time, Nick faces decisions that will define his future, forcing him to choose between the dangerous world that shaped him and the possibility of a life where he deserves happiness. The climax of the film revolves around a series of events that place both characters at their breaking point. A violent confrontation tied to Nick's past spirals out of control, putting Noah directly in harm's way and proving her worst fears right. Nick realizes that no matter how hard he tries, his presence alone puts her at risk. This realization devastates him more than any physical injury ever could. In a moment of painful clarity, he understands that loving Noah may mean letting her go. Noah, witnessing the chaos and the consequences of staying by his side, is forced to confront her own dependency on the intensity he brings into her life. She finally acknowledges that passion without stability is destroying her, even if it feels like losing part of herself. The ending of the film is emotionally heavy and bittersweet. Instead of a dramatic happy ending, the story chooses realism. Noah and Nick part ways again, not because they no longer love each other, but because they finally understand that love is not enough when it comes with fear, danger, and self-destruction. Their goodbye is filled with tears, regret, and unspoken promises, leaving the door slightly open for the future while accepting the pain of the present. The film closes with both characters walking separate paths, carrying the lessons of their relationship, knowing that they changed each other forever, even if they could not stay together. The second part of the story deepens the emotional complexity of Noah and Nick, showing the consequences of obsession, the cost of toxic love, and the painful truth that sometimes the person you love the most is the one you must leave behind to survive.